The following is an original CBC presentation.
So do you think that outside of here there is an incorrect perception of Jane Finch?
Well, yeah, what people don't know about Jane and Finch is people are real, they're kind, they're loving, they're accepting.
Painting a real picture of one of Toronto's most known neighborhoods. Recognition for the founder of JaneFinch.com, a website that gives voice to its community.
I'm Suresh Sauce, your new food guide here on CBC Toronto. I'm going to be taking you to a part of the city where there's some great food.
Taking a tour of Toronto cuisine in some of the most unexpected places.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marivel Turac and welcome to Our Toronto. We are coming to you from the roof of the CBC Broadcasting Centre. And we begin with one of the best known neighborhoods in the city, for better or worse. Jane and Finch has had a long and well-documented history of struggle, including drugs, shootings, and gang violence. Built in the 1970s as a community of high-rise buildings to house low-income families, it's seen its fair share of turmoil. But that's not all this community is about, and a community advocate has spent more than a decade trying to showcase the real Jane and Finch, the bad, but also lots of good. Now, Paul Nguyen is being recognized for his work.
Paul said it will be community.
Hold on for me,
Company's not CBC.
So do you think that outside of here there is an incorrect perception of Jane Finch?
Well, yeah, what people don't know about Jane and Finch is people are real, they're kind, they're loving, they're accepting, they're open-minded. And those things never get caught up because you just hear about like the other things.
Meet Paul Nguyen and his crew. They all grew up in and around this high-rise complex known as the Palisades in Jane and Finch. How do young people view this community that they grow up in and spend their life in?
Well, when you're living here, the outside image and what people think, you don't think that while you're living here. To you, when you're right here, it seems like the best place that you could live because you don't know any better or any worse. So what it is what it is. You don't.
It's just home.
Yeah, it's just home.
As notorious as their neighborhood is, these men volunteer their time to shine the spotlight on the best their community has to offer. And this is their platform, a website for the community, by the community, to tell stories that may not be covered anywhere else.
You know, I grew up and lived here my whole life, and I'm a Jane Finch kid, so I knew I had a different experience, a positive one, and I wanted to share it with the world.
So he did.
This is all my Jane and Finch people.
Jane-Finch.com launched in 2004 to much media attention, including from now CBC Toronto host Dwight Drummond. Its sole purpose is to paint a real picture of the community. Anyone who wants to contribute is welcome.
It's like, okay, if you want to talk about your music, you want to talk about the politics or the housing situation or education, all kinds of issues. And thankfully, a lot of people trust us because, you know, we're from Jane and Finch. So we have a lot of residents, students, people reaching out and saying, hey, I have something to say, I want to say it. So we don't discriminate. And that's the hallmark of being a Jane and Fincher, because we come from all different places around the world, different colors, white, black, yellow, blue, green, and we live here and we want to make this place a better place.
But the website doesn't shy away from the hard issues facing the community. It tackles concerns by giving voice to residents whose stories may not otherwise be heard.
Criminalized, brutalized, tossed in a scapegoat boat, set sail for the new land of bling and shiny things, believing we found a magic slipper to give us wings.
There's a lot of talented people. We have some famous people coming out of Jane and Finch. You know, your Dwight Drummond is a guy that lived down the street back in the day.
Dwight, yeah.
So Dwight, you know, we have like a lot of rappers and artists and, you know, doctors and politicians. So a lot of really strong and smart people coming out of here. So I want to get those stories and show it to the rest of the world, even for kids in the community to have someone to look up to, because They might just hear about something like a shooting on the news, but they might not necessarily know that this leader or this, this person, this professional came from Jane and Finch.
Nguyen says that one of the best ways to give residents hope is to give them concrete examples.
This is an Ontario Medal for Good Citizenship. It's given by the province of Ontario. So that's for being a good boy, basically. This one is Diamond Jubilee I received from Prime Minister and the Governor General back in the day. I guess for, mentoring youth and stuff like that.
Nguyen can also join the ranks of accomplished Jane and Finch residents. His life's work has been recognized by all levels of government, including this recent Governor General's Sovereign's Medal for extraordinary volunteer work presented by Mayor John Tory. But back in the neighborhood, it's about empowering residents of Jane and Finch.
This is our home. So it's like when we leave here and go somewhere else and they say, where are you gonna go or where are you from? And then we start to recollect where we're from. We realize, say, yo, you know what, this is my home. I love this place. I don't care what people say about it. And I think it also gives you character and it gives you a little bit of backbone because you gotta always defend it.
People on the outside are saying, hey, Jane Finch is no good. And it's always been sort of like a crutch, like your postal code. But now I see it like more of like a badge of honor.
Definitely.
It's like, it just shows that, okay, you're going through, you can survive adversity, you're resilient, you overcame a lot of challenges. So now it's like, it's seen as a badge of honor and not as a crutch. So hopefully through the website, other kids can be proud of themselves and proud of where they come from. And that's what we're trying to do.
Some great community examples. Well, as this year's TIFF